What's up, boys? Today I am going to be making my picks and predictions for UFC Fight Night Tsarukyan versus Hooker. I will be starting off with the early prelim opener of Marek Bujo versus Denzel Freeman. Uh, Two blobs. I believe both of them are making their UFC debut. Um, Looks like we got a little bit of a height advantage going for Marek Bujo. Hopefully he gets cut after this fight so that I don't have to pronounce that name anymore. On the other side, we got 6'1", 261-pound Denzel Freeman. I believe he is from Colorado. I know some people out in Colorado, so I think I'm gonna have to support Denzel Freeman on this one. I'm going Denzel Freeman by shoot. Second round knockout. I like that. Um, my reasoning for this one is I just think it's going to be a bounce back week for the Hood. Obviously, the Hood did not have their greatest showing at UFC 322. Angela Hill lost, Malcolm Wellmaker, um, and some others. So, looking for a bounce back week, and Denzel Freeman, I think he's the guy to turn it around. Um, so I've got him by second round knockout. In the second fight, we have Narulo Alia versus Shakim Shamrock. Aliev as a pretty big favorite here. He's the Tajik Eagle. He's a Khabib wannabe. So he is pretty good, though. He's 24 years old, young prospect. I think he's probably just better than Shamrock. So I'm gonna go with Aliev by shoot. Let's go with a third round submission. Breaks him down by the end of the fight. Shamrock's gonna be hungry. It's his debut, but I think Aliev will put a stop to it in round 3. So going with the Tajik Eagle to get that one done. Moving on to Ryan Loder versus Ismail Nardiev. And on this one, I'm going to have to go with the underdog Ryan Loder. He is fighting out of Team Alpha Male, I believe. He's got a little bit of a size advantage here on Nordiev. And, I'm going to go with Loder because of how poor Nordiev's performance was against... I think he fought the Iron Turtle, which... It's a tough fight, and even the Iron Turtle made Ikram Aliskerov look a little human. But I just think Ryan Loder is going to be hungry to get this one done. Ismail Nordiev is, I don't think he's too great, so I'm going to go with Ryan Loder with a sneaky underdog, crafty vet, even though he's only been in the UFC for this, I think will be his third fight. He's an Ultimate Fighter winner, which I'm going to put some stock into considering Joseph Morales looked good. And I know they're not in the same weight divisions or same season of the Ultimate Fighter, but I do think the Ultimate Fighter produces some pretty good UFC guys. So I'll go with Ryan Loder to beat Ismail Nordiev by... We'll go decision. He could get a finish. I think back to his fight against Robert Valentine, but if Loder were to get a finish, I would pick a KO or TKO, probably TKO in the third round. So we'll move on to the next one. We got pick'em odds for the matchup between Beksat Almakhan versus Alexandre Topuria. These guys are similar age. Same exact height, same exact reach. They both got pretty damn good boxing. This is a really exciting fight, to be honest. Good boxing, more than capable in the grappling side of things. And you know what? Beksat Almakhan might be better. I think Topuria, his name has to be giving him a little bit of the odds. So I think a true favorite here is probably Beksat Almakhan. With that being said, I'm a Topuria Glazer, so I'm going to go with Alexandre Topuria. I mean, with a man as smart and powerful, I got to quit glazing, bro. That's crazy. As Ilia Topuria in your corner, I don't see how you lose. But Hexa Almacon's a tough test. I think the winner of this fight should honestly be looking for like a fight right outside the bantamweight rankings. These are two good fighters. Um, and I'm excited to watch this one. I'll go Alexandre Topuria by. We're going to go with a unanimous decision. I think the boxing exchanges might be pretty fucking fire. Good scrambles, too. This is a fight. The more I'm talking about it, the more I'm getting into it. So I will be definitely tuning into this one. I'll be tuning into most of them on Saturday here. Next up, we got 7-0 Abdul Rahman Yakhayev. Fucking killed that shit. Rafael Sequeira is his opponent. As you can see with the odds there, what this is telling me is Sequeira is fucking ass. Excuse me. He's a definition of a jobber, and he's been getting knocked out here recently. So I think that Abdul Rahman, I'm not going to say the whole thing again, is going to get the. We'll go with 5 minutes is a long time. First round KO for Yakhayev. Turkey's going to have another big, powerful prospect at light heavyweight. Let's hope this guy is not as big of a pussy as Ibo Aslan. Guy is trash. But anyway, young 24-year-old versus an old, washed-up 35-year-old. And Yakhayev will definitely add one to the highlight tape this fight. Moving on to the next one, we got Alex Perez versus Asu Almabayev. Alex Perez hasn't fought in a fat minute. I don't think he's fought since the Tatsuro Taira fight where he got hurt. And then Asu Almabayev looked really good against Jose Ochoa. And I still think, Jose Ochoa is tough. Young prospect, pretty much good everywhere. Asu Almabayev, though, is a damn good fighter. Looks like Asu is a little bit smaller than Alex Perez. But I think he'll be able to get this one done with low-key, a split decision. I don't mind a little split decision, but maybe a 29-28 unanimous. My final pick is Asu Almabayev by. We'll go unanimous decision. I think he's a lot better than Alex Perez, so be looking forward to seeing what the flyweights can do this Saturday. Going to move on to Nicholas Dalby versus Saigid Izagakamayev. Shit. Say that 5 times fast. Izagakamayev is the heavy favorite. I think that he will be able to get this one done. I believe he was a champion in one fighting championship. And I just think that he is going to be better than Nicholas Dalby everywhere. I mean, Nicholas Dalby's a fucking warrior, but after he got absolutely smoked by Randy Brown in Kansas City, that was a cool finish to see. I think his time might be coming to an end. He's 41 years old, going up against a guy 10 years younger than him who's proven. I think that Saigid Izagakamayev is going to be better than him everywhere, and I could see Nicholas Dalby getting subbed for the first time in his UFC career. That's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with Izagakamayev by. We'll go round 2 submission. Maybe a club and sub would be sick. Because I do think he's going to, stumble Dalby a couple times. But don't be surprised if Dalby gets knocked the fuck out again. Moving on to Luke Riley versus Bogdan Grad. We got Luke Riley, highly touted prospect, making his UFC debut. And I'm going to have to go with Luke Riley by decision. I have a tough time believing he'll be able to get Bogdan Grad out of there. If he does, it'd probably be with some heavy body shots. And shoot. I don't think he can get him out of there. So I'm going to go Luke Riley by unanimous decision. I think Bogdan Grad is a pretty good underdog pick here with the favor or with the odds being as wide as they are. You got Bogdan Grad at a plus 200 favorite. And I don't think he's a slouch. That's the thing. So uh, I got Luke Riley kind of outboxing him. And I just think he's a little too talented and too good for Bogdan Grad. But I think Grad's going to be hungry. It should be a really good fight. I could see a split decision. I might go Luke Riley by split decision actually for this one. I think I got that one right on the head, but we will see on Saturday. And I'm going to move on to Kyoji Horiguchi versus Tagir Ulanbekov. And I'm going to have to go with Tagir Ulanbekov on this one. My reasoning for this, I think both fighters are very high level. Kyoji Horiguchi obviously has some really good wins against like Sergio Pettis and I don't even know who else, but he fought against Mighty Mouse. I know Mighty Mouse beat him, but I believe that I need to quit overthinking these picks where you got the Dagestanis. About 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a decision victory for the Dagestani. These are free picks, and when they give them to you at minus 190 odds, I'll be damned if I don't pick them. So I'll go Tagir Ulanbekov by unanimous decision. And yeah, it'd be cool if Kyoji Horiguchi won. He's an old head. I mean, Tagir's old too, but if either one of these guys wants to make a run in the flyweight division, the time is now. And obviously, Kyoji Horiguchi is going to have more appeal to the audience, to the promoters at the UFC, because these fucking Dagestanis are so boring. Don't get me started on that Islam Makhachev fight. Moving on to Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Shamil Gaziev. Waldo Cortez Acosta took the fight on 2 or 3 days' notice. I think he just accepted it yesterday. I'm recording this on the 20th, so I'm going to go with Waldo Cortez Acosta on this one. I've got him staying hot. He obviously wants to keep fighting. He's feeling good, and if he gets this win, he's up there for a title, which is a little sad to say, but I think he deserves it. He's been fighting people, knocking them out, and he lost to Sergey Pavlovich, which is not great considering Sergey Pavlovich is a shell of his old self, but I'm going to go with Waldo Cortez Acosta by, we'll say a third round knockout for this one. I think Shamil Gaziev's going to give him a good fight, but I think Waldo's going to just land some fucking bomb overhands. You're going to see Shamil's belly jiggle around a little bit, get the crowd excited. That's what we all wanted to see, was lard ass walking around the cage, but I think he drops him. I think the whole arena shakes. A possible collapse if they didn't build that building right, but Waldo Cortez Acosta by third round. We'll go TKO. Next up, we got Jack Hermanson versus Miktabek Oralbai. And you know what? I think I'm going to go with Jack Hermanson on this one. I'm going to go with him by... We're going to go decision for Jack Hermanson. I think that he's going to be able to nullify Miktabek Oralbai's grappling. And I think he'll be able to outstrike him on the feet. We'll see. He didn't look great in his last fight against RoboCop. So I just don't think Oralbai has the ability to knock him out. And then I think that Jack Hermanson, like I said, I think he's going to make it so that Miktabek cannot get a lot done on the ground. So we got Jack Hermanson coming around for his yearly random win against a hyped up prospect, and yeah, that's my pick. Moving on to Volkan Oezdemir versus Alonzo Menifield. For this one, I'm going to go with Volkan Oezdemir by... We'll go second round KO on this one. I think he's going to sleep Alonzo Menifield. Menifield's coming off of 2 wins, but I don't rank him that high. He's got Julius Walker in his debut. That was a split decision. Julius Walker looked good, but I think what actually happened there is Alonzo Menifield looked like dog shit. So I'm going to go with Volkan Oezdemir. He hasn't fought in a minute, but I think he's big and gonna land some powerful shots and put Alonzo Menifield to sleep in the second round. So, I mean, not much else to say other than Alonzo Menifield's just looked lackluster. He fought against Umar Sy out his last fight, and that fight was shit. Umar Sy looked terrible, and Alonzo Menifield kind of matched his level, but did enough to win. So I'm gonna go Volkan Ozdemir by KO. Moving on to the co-main event, we got Belal Muhammad versus Ian Machado Gary, and I got to watch Ian Machado Gary in Kansas City. He was the main event. For those of you who don't know, he fought Carlos Prates, who's obviously coming off of a KO victory against Leon Edwards at 322. And looking back at the time, I was fucking pissed off. I wanted Carlos Prates to win, but that was a great fight for me and Gary. He took it on short notice. It wasn't incredibly short notice, but he likes to, throw that out there so it sounds like he's a dog, which he kind of is. Like, I got to put some respect on Ian Gary's name. He's been down for any fights. He'll take them on short notice, and he'll let you hear it. He's pretty fucking annoying, but he's a pretty good fighter, and I think that if Belal didn't wrestle with Jack, I don't think he's going to be able to wrestle here, even if he wants to. I think Ian Machado Gary's got heavy hips. I think he's going to keep his distance, kind of outpoint him. I'm not sure. I'm guessing this is only a 3-round fight. It would be kind of sick if it was 5 rounds, though, because we could just watch him dance around for 5 rounds. But going Ian Gary by decision here, either way, if it was 3 rounds or 5 rounds, these are two of the most hated fighters in the UFC. They're both annoying as fuck, so we're going to see which one can annoy their way to a title shot here, and I'm going to go with Ian Gary to do it by decision, which I'm not sure if that'll give him the title shot, so it'd be cool if he got a finish. I think the whole Ireland versus Dagestan thing would be sweet for him and Islam, and a potential title fight between them. But yeah, I'm just not in on Belal Muhammad like I used to be. After he decided to stay on the feet with JDM and get pieced up, I think he's stupid, trying to prove a point, and I don't think he's really as good as we thought he was. And I think Ian Machado Gary's younger, hungrier, very talented, and will be able to control the fight, kind of like he did against Carlos Prates. And the thing with Belal is, if Gary controls the fight, Muhammad doesn't have any chance at all, because he has no finishing potential. Boring, annoying, needs to leave the UFC, and so going Ian Gary to control the fight and win by decision. Another thing I want to say is starting to notice a trend with these old welterweight champs. They tend to lose and lose and lose and lose. So I'm seeing that with Leon, with JDM, and now here with Belal. I think we're going to see it again. With that being said, I'm going to move on to the main event. We got Arman Tsarukyan versus Dan Hooker. And I'm just going to say it. I got Dan Hooker by first round wheel kick KO. That was a joke. I got Arman Tsarukyan. My pick is Dan Hooker gets taken down. Arman times a great double leg, takes him down. Dan Hooker falls backwards, reaches his arm out to catch himself like a jackass, and breaks his arm for the 83rd time, I believe, in his career. So I'd go with a Dan Hooker, an Arman Tsarukyan doctor stoppage via Dan Hooker breaking his arm while falling back on a double leg by Arman. And I probably have to say that'll happen in the third round. Blast double for Arman. Dan Hooker falls back. Snap. Fight's over. Arman Tsarukyan gets the title shot versus Ilia Topuria. But those are my picks for Fight Night Tsarukyan versus Hooker. In all seriousness with this main event, though, I think Arman Tsarukyan's better everywhere. I think he's the number one contender. I just think he needs to prove it. He hasn't fought in a fat minute, so looking for him to go out there and really show why he deserves the shot, because I think a fight between him and Ilia would be pretty fucking legit. So sad for Dan Hooker, but after he loses this fight, I'm seeing maybe he could welcome Arnold Allen to the division or fight Gaethje. Gaethje just wants an easy fight, or I hope Gaethje retires. Anyway, Arman Tsarukyan by Dr. Stoppage. And that is all she wrote. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give it a like, subscribe if you would, and everyone have a great night.